Welcome everybody, Retro Python here. Today we're going to take a look at a Game Boy Advance. This is actually my Game Boy Advance. I found it in the attic. What year did this come out? 2001, something like that. Over 20 years old, still in pretty good shape. I barely played it. I think I never played it because the screen is terrible. As you can see, the sound is awful. We're going to fix all that today and kind of give it a new breath of life. As we learned from Frogger, I'm much better modding video games than I am playing them. That's as loud as it goes, huh? All right, we're going to hop in our Google machine and head over to retro6.co.uk. We're going to start shopping. I had already purchased this stuff, so some of the stuff may be out of stock due to the chip shortage. Hopefully that gets fixed pretty soon. Waiting on a lot of things to come in, and it seems like that's holding everything up. So first thing we're going to buy is a new screen. We're going to buy the bracket that holds it in place. It's $3. I'm sure you could 3D print one yourself, but listen, just get everything in one shot. Want to pick up the screen? That's the most expensive thing you're going to buy today. It's about $70. Well worth it. We're going to need to fix the audio, so let's get the CleanAmp. Well, first let's get the Dehum Dehiss. That's just a solder mod. That's pretty easy to do. Let's get the CleanAmp. This was a lot harder to solder than I thought it would be. It's really tiny. I had to use a microscope, and it works. It's not my best job, but it works. You'll see that later on. We need a lens. So the IPS screen, I'm just going to pick a plain lens. I don't need anything fancy. We'll just take that one. And we're going to need a battery. So we're going to pick up the battery for $27. Remember, it comes with a case that you could actually use. A gray case. Comes with the back and everything. I believe that case is fitted for the IPS screen as well. So you can be done right there if you want, but I like to match as close as possible the original indigo color. So make sure you get the matching back. And we're going to pick up the case, which is a whopping, what, $10. It's not really the original indigo color, but it's close enough. I think this whole thing comes to about $160, something like that. Retro 6 is great. Any issues you have, leave them an email. So through the magic of the internet, everything is here. We got the case, the bracket, the lens, and the screen. We're going to put it together now. hindsight, I should have took that other tape section off, which is just protecting the screen from dust. This is just held together by glue that's on the back of the lens. Make sure you get that in there good. This has a little lip on it on both sides, kind of holds the screen in place, snaps in. Alright, so let's disassemble the original one. We're going to have to take out the motherboard, do some soldering. These are what do I call them, tri-tip screwdriver you're going to need for these on the outside. And then one Phillips head for the battery compartment. And then the inside screws are all Phillips head. There's always one screw that doesn't want to come out. Can't forget that Phillips head. disconnect the ribbon cable. Alright, this is it. This is the motherboard of the Gameboy Advance. I'm going to do some mods to this. First thing I'm going to do is desolder the speaker. So, of course, whenever you want to desolder something, it's always a good idea to put a little more solder on it, some fresh solder. Maybe not that much, but take my desolder sucker. Just being stubborn. Alright, so finally I was able to get it. A little desoldering, little heating up the leftover solder and pull it out. So there's the speaker. You could buy a new one on Retro 6 if you want. Just cut those wires. So this is the mod we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing the CleanAmp. You can pause this if you want. And then we're going to do the Dehum Dehiss. You can find both these pictures on the support section of Retro 6. I'm going to fast forward most of the soldering because it's all through the microscope and it's not the clearest video ever. So this is not meant to be a soldering tutorial, but just to show you how to do it. So here we go. The magic of the internet. This is what it looks like. All done. You can see how small that board is compared to the speaker. It's half the size of the speaker. That speaker's not very large compared to the headphone jack. And then the Dehum Dehiss kind of goes right in place. A lot easier to do than the CleanAmp. The Dehum and Dehiss board took me literally 4 minutes, not even. It's a lot of wires, and that other board takes a little bit. So let's put everything back together. These top 4 screws, you have to be careful not to over tighten them, otherwise the R and L buttons won't work. I don't know if it's a flaw in the design of the case, if the wells aren't deep enough, not really sure, but just don't over tighten these, just test your buttons. And the battery just sits right in. USB-C, charge it up. Hopefully it works. Alright. So far so good. Let's put a cartridge in it. Not sure if you can tell, this is a lot louder. There's actually 2 jumper points on the CleanAmp card. If you want to even make it louder than this, I mean, it's really loud in person. I don't know why you'd want to make it louder, but you could. You still have that option. You can see how much clearer the screen is. You can play it in the dark. I could barely see what I was doing before. This is great. A great mod. Brings new life. I still suck at it though. So essentially we went from this to this. Definitely, this is a great mod if you into your Gameboy Advance. I got an EverDrive Gameboy Advance cartridge on my way, so I'll do another video on that once we get it. If you enjoyed this video, of course, like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors' friends. Happy gaming.